It is finally time for my Christian reviews of regular books to make a comeback, and that is why we are here. Today, I just want to give you a brief overview about what are these Christian reviews all about, so that if you're coming to this video and have no clue what I'm talking about, you can learn everything about it here. Christian reviews of regular books are exactly what they sound like. They are Christian reviews from a faith-based perspective of regular books, everyday fiction books that you'd find at any sort of store. We're not looking specifically at Christian fiction, although those have some great books and some amazing authors, but my focus is really letting you know if the books you find at the bookstore are something that are going to be appropriate for you and your walk with Jesus. Now, everybody has a different walk with Jesus. Everyone's in a different place, and so what's okay for you, what's okay for me, and what's okay for your Aunt Susie are all going to look slightly different. I am not here to put my opinions and values on your walk. However, I do just want to give you the information that's in the book without spoiling it so that you can make the best decision for you. I do this because I don't see it anywhere else. I don't know where to go and find these reviews, and I so often picked up books in my journey and did not realize what I was getting into until it was far too late. And I don't want to do that to you. However, I also don't want to spoil the whole book for you. So I've come up with a way of doing this that hopefully provides you with enough information without spoiling the book. You're always going to get my regular review, what you know and love to expect from a book review. I will do my star rating. I will give a basic information about what I thought without the spoilers. But then I'm gonna get into my Christian review, and my Christian review is gonna go over different pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer or anyone wanting to read it. I will also give age ranges that I think is appropriate for someone to read, so that if you're watching this and you're wondering if your teenage child or your 10-year-old should be reading the book, I should be able to give you an idea about what I would feel comfortable with as a mom myself. Now, the categories that I always touch on in my Christian reviews vary slightly based on the book and the style. However, I will always let you know if there's any spice or smut in the books and how much. I will let you know if there's any explicit language, and again, how much. Then the other categories are a little bit dependent on the book. The next category I'll let you know about is violence and gore. Those will usually come in the form of thrillers or horror, or if it's a fantasy or a sci-fi. But I will let you know, and I will let you know how explicit, descriptive, or inappropriate it may be. I also will let you know if it's a fantasy book about the magic system and if it has some dark connotations or not. I do just have that last final category for very specific books, if it falls under that touches on anything that I know fellow believers generally may not want to read or pick up a book because of. That category may have some spoilers, so I always put it at the very end of my videos, so if you don't care, you can skip past or skip out, and I will warn you ahead of time if I'm ever gonna spoil a book for you. However, having done these Christian reviews for a long time, I have really learned what fellow believers may or may not like, and so I try to just give you guys the information based on that feedback that I've received. Those are my Christian reviews. As someone who read over 200 books in the last year and has no plan on slowing down, I want to be able to provide you with the most amount of information possible so that you can make the decision that's best for you. And I cannot wait to tell you about all of these books. If you are interested in following along or checking out any of my other videos about my reader self, you can do so by heading to the links that are down below. I am on Instagram, I am on TikTok, and I am on my own YouTube, where you get more and more book content from me. So if you're wanting more of my day-to-day reading stuff and everything I'm doing in between, you can do so by clicking down below and checking out those links.